Why is 23-year-old Kylie Jenner from the TV show Keeping Up with the Kardashians a billionaire? Well, she's actually the youngest self-made billionaire in history. She's 23 now. She made her first billion when she was 21, which is earlier than even Mark Zuckerberg when Facebook went public. Now, although Kylie Jenner is very fortunate to be born into the right family, she's actually leveraged social media a lot. And I humbly believe that YouTube is the only gold rush in history where it costs you nothing to make the product. All you need is this thing, and YouTube is the only gold rush also in history where you can get access to billions of customers for free. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to all look back on social media platforms like YouTube in a decade or so and say, gosh, I wish I'd made more videos, because each video you make, I want you to think of it like it's a little coffee shop from a franchise perspective that you can make money from in the long run. Now, of course, Kylie Jenner is much more active on Instagram and other platforms. So how do we know what social media platforms we should use? Well, what we're going to do together is we're going to do a search on Gary V, Gary Vaynerchuk. And for those of you that don't know who Gary V is, he's this really successful social media guy. He understands marketing brilliantly. And so he's actually the authority on how to build a social media following. So do a search for Gary V, and we'll go to his website. And when you're on his website, what you can do is you scroll down to the bottom, and there's a bunch of logos here. And no one's ever told me this. It's just what I look at. And my dad told me growing up, he said, Chris, don't ever take advice from somebody that's not successful. So let's take advice from Gary V here. But if you go to the bottom of Gary V's website, he's got a bunch of social media icons. And I've noticed he's changed them over the past 5 or 10 years every now and then. And so the most important platform is Instagram, according to him, then YouTube, then Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, which I don't understand. And a Supreme Court judge actually had to explain what Snapchat is to the other 8 Supreme Court judges yesterday. It was interesting. And the last one here is a podcast. And he used to have other icons here too, like one for Method, which is a social media platform I don't use anymore because it hasn't really taken off. So look for the order here of the icons on Gary V's website. Okay. You can also do a search for something else that Gary V made called 86 Pages of Insanity. Okay. And this is a brilliant free document that tells you how to repurpose your social media content on other platforms. So let's check it out together. Let's do a search for 86 Pages of Insanity, Gary V. All right. Should be here somewhere. Here it is here. It's the Gary V content model here. Yeah. So here, this is 86 pages right here. And what you can do is go through this, and he'll talk about what's called the content pyramid. And so the content pyramid means you make one big piece of content, and then you repurpose it on different platforms. Let me explain what that means using my business model as an example. So every week I make this weekly YouTube call, okay? And that goes up at the top here. Then what I do is from this weekly YouTube call, my staff, what we do is we make 7 vlogs for the next week, and they drop at 9 a.m. San Francisco time every day. Then we repurpose for Instagram videos and images, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. And this is a way to work smarter and not harder. And Nintendo's been doing this for decades too. You know, their older Mario game from the 8-bit and 16-bit and Mario 64. Those intellectual property pieces they created years ago, decades ago, and they repurpose it on new platforms, and the margin structure is unbelievable. So here's how he talks about redistributing all the pillar content. What you can also do to save time, another free resource for you, is Hootsuite, which is a great Canadian company, I'm Canadian represent, that will let you repurpose your content at certain times. And you get 30 or so free posts per month with them. And so what you can do is you schedule your posts so that your YouTube videos get posted at a certain time. Same thing with Twitter, etc. And you can stagger them throughout the day as well. The one caveat I have here, though, is if you can try to upload your videos natively to each platform. Don't just put a link to YouTube in LinkedIn, for example, because the algorithm in LinkedIn will punish you because YouTube is a competing platform. So what you have to do is upload the video directly to a LinkedIn. So when you embark upon your social media campaign, meaning the brand of you, I humbly recommend making content on YouTube or other platforms that helps people. And you got to do it from your heart. You got to be sincere about it. Because, and this has been true since the beginning of time, if you give, you'll receive. You also have to be persistent and never, ever, ever give up, even if you have hardly any viewers. And if you build it, they will come, as long as you never, ever, ever give up. And as Seth Godin once said, the marketing genius, you already have everything you need to build something far bigger than yourself. Now, to learn more about marketing your company or yourself using social media and different platforms, please check out my MBA degree program at haruneducation.com. And to give you inspiration for never, ever, ever giving up with your social media strategy, what I want you to do is I want you to search for the first few vlogs that your favorite successful vloggers have made, and you'll see that their level of vlogging sophistication in the early days is much worse than what you can create for yourself today. And don't worry if you get negative comments, as you got to tell yourself that unjustified criticism is nothing more than a disguised compliment.